Hello chess friends, and welcome to Zarov's chess channel. Welcome to my advanced chess theory. Today I'm going to show again the continuation of the King's Indian, but today we'll start with the Petrosian variation. It's a different variation than the previous that I showed you. It's with the continuation when white plays instead of castling this early d5. So let's see. We have here again d4, knight to f6, c4, g6, knight to c3, bishop to g7, e4, d6, bishop to e2, castling, knight to f3, and now after e5, instead of castling, white plays this move d5. So what's the idea behind this move of d5? So of course you cannot play this move of knight to c6. So you have this problem with where to go with this knight. And of course, if you play something like knight to d7, you're blocking your bishop. So you have to find another way. So the continuation that I recommend you here is to play this move a5. So if white plays this move d5 early, you should play this move a5. So this at least blocks somehow this move of b4, and you have this knight to a6. Today I'll show you the continuation when white plays bishop to e3. It's a little bit different than if instead of if he plays bishop to g5. So with this move of knight to a6, you are protecting this pawn on c7, so no threats are possible to white to play knight to b5. So you have a flexible position for a queen, so you can play something like queen to e7, so you don't have to protect with your queen. So in variations where white plays bishop to g5, then you move your queen to e8 with this knight on a6. It's defending this weak pawn on c7. So but that's not the variation today. Today we show you when white plays this move bishop to e3. So now comes now this was a game was played between Evgeny Bareev and Garry Kasparov, and I told you, if you want to learn the King's Indian, you should watch Garry Kasparov's games, or maybe Nakamura's, but Garry Kasparov is really the master in the King's Indian. So here white decides to stay a little bit with the king in the center. So there is this principle: if white stays in the center, so you should somehow attack the center, somehow get rid of the pawns in the center and create an attack. So here we have bishop to g5, arresting the queen, and now f6. Now comes bishop to h4. You see, this bishop wants to somehow at least slowing down this f5 that is common in the King's Indian. And here Garry Kasparov plays now this good move of knight to a6, maybe some preparations of queen to e8, and then f5. I've told you this knight is very good here, so you have this at least somehow blocked. So if white plays something like a3, in some variations you can block it by a4, but that's not the thing here. Here white attacks the knight on g4. So here Garry Kasparov played again a very good move, h5, so get an extra protection on the knight, and after a3, here bishop to d7. So what's the idea here? So a3 has come. So in variations where we have played the queen to e8, you could have played a4 and block this b4 idea. But now Garry Kasparov finds a very good move after h3, knight takes 6, and now rook to b1, preparing b4. So you see white is active here, but now it's very good. You have this now this weak knight on c5, so you could trade it in a couple of moves. So after b4, black took on b4, and now you see with this protection of the rook and the knight on a4, you can somehow trade this knight. So you see, let's see the position here. Black is on the attack on white center, so of course c5 will come, but you don't have to be so scared about it, because you're already on the attack. And now Garry Kasparov plays straightforward and plays the move g5. I've told you, in King's Indian you have to use any tempo you can get. So Garry Kasparov plays accurate here, and after bishop to g3, now again h4, again arresting this bishop. So you see, although there are multiple weaknesses around the king, you see this knight will get a very good protector here on around the king. So Garry Kasparov just plays on the attack. He knows how to play the King's Indian, and you see no trades of light square bishop so far possible, because this knight on h6 is also controlling the g4 very well. So now Barev tries this queenside attack, but you see Garry Kasparov is already on the attack, so the king is a little bit weak there in the center. So after you see, Garry Kasparov after c6 isn't interesting to take with the pawn, because then he would leave this diagonal open on the king and somehow get the bishop into the game, the light square bishop of white. So he doesn't want to do that. He plays again accurate, leaving the bishop on c8. So after taking a little after exchange on g4, now black took on b7, and now white decided to castle, because it was really dangerous with this opened f file. He wanted to get somehow protect, but now Garry Kasparov plays this grandmaster move. It's queen to g5 very well. It's controlling the g file, this diagonal on the knight. Very active square for the queen, and of course no taking so far on c7 is possible, but because of taking on d2, and then after that the bishop. So very active play by Garry Kasparov, but you always expect him to play aggressive, because he is one of the most aggressive players I've ever seen, and I really like his games. And of course, this King's Indian of him is always a beauty to see. So now comes rook to a1, and Garry Kasparov, of course, he found this tactical shot, taking on a1. Now the rook take, and now the grandmaster move he took with this bishop on d5. If white takes, then comes this e4, and with this diagonal on the rook. If white wants to protect the rook, then let's see the continuation. If white takes, then come this here. If he wants to somehow protect the rook, so white would take on a1, and then he would simply take this knight. So that's not what was played. Barev played rook to a7. After rook to a7, Garry Kasparov plays bishop on e6, and he left c7. So it was so weak that he didn't want to protect it. But now you see Barev left this f2 pawn very weak, and now you see this knight comes on f7, and it's really a good protector of these squares. If you will see after a couple moves how this knight becomes a monster defender of black's position, and it was really good, and of course liberating this square for the bishop, so it could use this useful diagonal. So but I wanted to trade this light square bishop. Of course, this light square bishop for black is a very active one. So you see now we have this bishop to h6, and after taking a couple of trade, and now Garry Kasparov find this really good move, and you see no infiltrations of the queen are possible because this knight is controlling these two squares, and of course some sacrifices not so possible so far because mating threats are there. So here Barev plays this king to h1. So if white plays some checks, so he could have also a protector of the king, and now came this check, so, and he simply took the pawn. So it's you see black is a pawn up. Of course white has this pawn, so he could use it to promotion, but black is obviously better here. So after I don't think that was accurate by Barev to trade here the queens, so I think he should have played on this pawn at least. So Kasparov uses this trade of queens. So, and now he has these two connected pawns, and they're very dangerous, and these two pawns to block somehow here the position if something like this is played, so he could always block and get the king out of the game and the bishop also. So you see very good position for black. And now Barev uses this pass pawn, but you see it's not so dangerous because it's not supported by any piece anymore. So here Garry Kasparov blocks this dark square bishop, no coming into the game for the bishop, and now he wants to somehow get out with the bishop, but now you see comes this g3. No bishop, the bishop will not play anymore, the king is not gonna play anymore. So if black managed to get rid of this pass pawn, he obviously has a clear win here. So now comes b6, but you see Garry Kasparov is playing very accurate. He plays this rook on d8. See, he doesn't want to get too protective of these pawns. He wants to push his pawn also. So now Barev played rook to c6, and now you see black has this very good jump on with the knight on d6 and protecting b7 possibility. So here after a couple moves, here here comes the knight on e3. So what's the idea behind it? So you see if in some variations white takes on d5, he would lose his pawn on b6, and after taking the knight it's not possible because again he's gonna be mated because of this very good pawn that's protecting the king out, to going the king out of the game. So black isn't worrying about taking some pawns by white, so he has always this mating threat. And after rook to h6, well, now comes knight to g7, and white resigned the game because of course then a couple moves came knight to d5 and simply taking this pawn. So many possibilities here, and that's where white resigned. So I think you should memorize from this game this setup. this setup after this d5. I just wanted to remember the best continuation is to play a5, and now of course after this bishop to f3, e3, well, it was a bit harassing by this bishop, but you see Garry Kasparov played really aggressively on this bishop, so he got many tempos, and that's where he managed to win the game. So I don't think White played too aggressive on the queen side. He should have somehow at least casting first and then playing maybe this f3 concept. But you see how Garry Kasparov managed to get a very active play by his pieces. So thank you for watching. In my next videos I'm gonna show you continuations where White plays, instead of this bishop to e3, bishop to g5. So it's a little bit different there. And of course watch some King's Indian games by Garry Kasparov if you want to play it accurate, because in this game he played like 95% of his move, the best computer move. So this game was played in 1991, where you couldn't analyze your games with the computer, and Garry is playing like a machine here. So thank you for watching. More King's Indian are to come. So the idea is I want to at least make like 20 videos of the King's Indian, so you can approach, so you can use them and get a very good spectre of the King's Indian. So I want to show you at least like 70% of the position that they can follow here. So I hope you enjoy it, and see you next time. Chess is the best, guys.